Hey Facebook, Dave Thompson here. How you doing? And I'm just down here at the ferry terminal. Stratty Island's just behind us there. We're heading over for the next book retreat in a week, actually. So let me just show you. We're on the bay side, yeah? So this is where the ferry leaves from. That's the vehicle barge right there. The man, Glenn Munso. How are you, brother? You'd remember this. Matty Ross, hi. So this is where the ferry takes off, and the ferry will go kind of this way out through the markers. Thanks to everyone coming on, out through the markers and then up this way. And actually where we go on retreat is way up there, way on the point. Hey Christy. So yeah, that's just a bit of a sneak peek. That's where we go. I've just come down here because we're heading over next Monday, and I just wanted to get some of the water taxi tickets for the participants. But what I wanted to talk about today is the number one place that I see people getting stuck in their book writing process. Hey Christy. Hey Lath. And it frustrates me to see people get stuck here, because I'm like, the answer is like so simple. I mean, it doesn't seem simple because that's where people get stuck. Hey, Aiden, a lot of times people talk about like writer's block or not being able to flow or something like that, or they just got stuck at a certain point. And really, it doesn't need to be that way. The reason I think people get stuck is they get stuck in their head. Have you ever heard that saying, if you're stuck in your head, you're dead? Well, yeah, I think that's really applies here, because writer's block, to me, that's just people in their head, right? If they dropped down into their body, into emotion, into feeling, there'd be way more flow, okay? Because here's the problem. This is what happens. When people get stuck in their head in their book writing, the monkey mind starts to activate and starts to tell you all sorts of crazy things, right? Like, I'm not good enough, or is this good enough? That's when you start to see the people writing a sentence and then like scrubbing it out, or writing a phrase and then double checking. I'm like, just like, come on, like that's not going to get you anywhere, because we overanalyze, right? Hey Madonna, to all the guys, the ferry's just taking off. We'll probably be on something like that in a couple of about 7 days from now, as we head over to the island for book retreat. So yeah, people getting stuck in their head, over-analysing, that's where the writer's block happens, and they get stuck. And then that's where you see things like people are saying, I've written 5,000 words in my book, but that's all I've got. Or they write 10,000 words and then they sit on it for like years or months or something like that. And it's like the solution. Hey Paula T, hey to everyone jumping on. Thanks for being here. The solution is drop down into feeling, right? Now, the big, how we unblock the pipes at book retreat is we go and we take people to a natural environment. And the reason we go to nature is nature's very feminine, right? It's very feeling based. You can't help but go into nature and just drop into the feeling and be like, this feels, check out this. Like, it's lovely. It's lovely, right? It is, seriously, it feels good. Yeah, it feels good. Book writing is an integrative activity. You need the masculine structure of the containers, of the chapters. It has to make sense. But the thing that people miss so often is it's got to feel good too. Have you ever walked into a bookshop and you've been like, I just have to go down to this particular bookshelf, and it's almost like a book was buzzing at you. Yeah, have you ever had that experience? I know I have. I've one in particular down in St Kilda one time. I was walking along the street and I was like, I have to go into that store. And so I'd go into the store and I just kind of followed my nose. And I was like, that one, I need to read that. And it was some book on some personal development thing. And it just had so much gold in it. But that book had a resonance. And why did it have a resonance? Because the person that wrote it did so with feeling and emotion, right? There's nothing worse than just reading a really dry textbook. Like, think about the textbooks that you read in school. Well, they had textbooks, but did you read them? Probably not. Hey, Jean Sheehan. Hey, Dean. Hey, Kat. The reason we don't read textbooks, I did a law degree, 5 years, like hundreds and hundreds of books that we were meant to read, and I didn't read any of them, right? I just got the notes from them. Why? Because it was dry. It was just logic. Yeah, just logic. We need the logic and the emotion in order to really write a fantastic book. And I got to acknowledge the people that do write books with a lot of feeling here, because, you know, sometimes dropping into the feeling. Hey, Jody Ashley, thanks for the guys that are giving some feedback on this. I appreciate that. When you do drop into feeling to write the thing, there can be a vulnerability with that. So I want to acknowledge that for those people that do drop in and go, yeah, you know what, I'm going to feel this. I want to say, good on you. You know, guys like Glenn Munso, who was on book retreat last year with us, who wrote Drugs Do Not Discriminate. Like, you read that book, you can feel what that guy was going through when he was in the courthouse, you know, going through his whole process. You know, when you read the Jean Sheehan story, which was written last year with us as well, like, you can feel what she was going through as she tells that story. And I think that's, hey, Mary Ride, I think that's an important piece, is that when we drop into the feeling, not only do we get more flow, but we can also connect at an even deeper level with our readers. Okay? The world does not need more dry, logical books. I can promise you that. The world does not need that. There are plenty of them. What the world needs is books that resonate, that vibrate, that have feeling and emotion in them, that make people go, that thing, I need to read it because it's got the hope, the inspiration, the problem solving, the consciousness, the love, the whatever it is in that I need. Okay? So that's kind of my my piece for today, is if you've got something in you, whether it be the hope, the peace, the love, the motivation, the solution to someone's problem, the alleviation. Oh, Mary Ride's tuning in from France. Hey, Mary. Whatever it happens to be that you've got, that you can give, we want to get that into the book. And look, that's why we go to the island, because one of the best ways is if you're in nature, it's so much easier to connect into the feeling as opposed to trying to write the thing in the attic of your city apartment with a million Wi-Fi signals, with the tram running down below, with the fire brigade going, rah, rah, with, you know, the distractions of everyday life. It's like, how can you get a flow there? Well, if you can, good luck to you. But that's why we go to the island. So to round it out, the number one place that I see people getting stuck is they get stuck in their head. If you get stuck in your head, you're dead. Drop into the feeling, connect with what you actually want to say, put that in the book, and you will attract those people that need the thing that you've got. That's all. Peace out. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you on the other side.